The next day I got to school, but something was off. It felt like people were avoiding me. Well, I guess that's not that unusual, but even people I knew. Suddenly I saw Trista. She would definitely know what was going on. Hey Trista, do you? That was really weird. She walked right by me without even acting as if she had heard me. At first, I thought something had happened. Had somebody used some kind of invisibility quirk on me? Suddenly I saw Christina, so I walked up to see if she knew what was going on. Yeah, of course I can see you. What's going on? So Christina was still responding to me, but she didn't seem to know what was going on either. Then I saw Bryce. Dude, check the bulletin board outside the cafeteria. What you did was kinda messed up, Greg. The bulletin board? What could possibly be on there? I headed over to the cafeteria to see a couple of kids crowded around the bulletin board. I made my way past them and saw this. It was my hero course rejection letter. A ton of questions were racing through my head. How had somebody gotten this? Why did they put it up? Then I realized it. Why somebody had bothered to hang this up while everyone was avoiding me. It was the stuff about Holly. Now everyone knew I had attacked her during the entrance exam. Suddenly I saw someone walking towards me, and he did not look happy. Greg! Roger Heffley. Quirk. Microphone. He can change the amplitude of sound waves around him, making them louder or quieter. You were the one who trapped Holly. I thought that was the robot. Rowley, did you really just do that to get more points? I just wanted to get in. I wanted to do whatever it took to be a hero. So did I! But I didn't hurt others like you did. I trained, Greg. If you worked half as hard as I did, you would be in the hero course with me for sure. You can judge me for being quirkless all you want. But the fact is, I'm in the hero course and you're fucking not. Maybe you should think about why. Rowley left after that, leaving me standing there outside the cafeteria. A bunch of people had been watching the whole conversation, but I made my way past them. There was somebody I was looking for. After a few minutes, I found him. Shirag! He was the only one of Rowley's classmates I knew, since he was also in art club. Well, and Holly, but I figured talking to her would probably be bad timing. I didn't know if he had seen the letter yet or not, but either way, there was something I had to ask him. What's Rowley like as a hero? Like, how strong is he? Rowley? I mean, he doesn't have a quirk, but in terms of physical strength, he's one of the strongest out of us. He can't beat most of us in a fight, but he came up with a way to win his battles, in the trial test. It seems like he tries really hard to be a hero. Shirag Gupta. Quirk. Invisible. He can turn his entire body invisible on command for as long as he can hold his breath. After my talk with Shirag, I had made up my mind. It was time for me to see for myself how strong Rowley really was, and there was only one way to do that. I'm going to sneak onto the USJ trip. I didn't know anything about it other than my very short conversation about it with Rowley yesterday. I needed someone I could ask, somebody who wouldn't get suspicious about me asking them. What's up, Greg? You need help with homework or something? I knew Christina also taught the hero course freshmen, so I figured she would know something about the USJ, and sure enough, she did. The USJ is the Unforeseen Simulation Joint. It's a way for hero course kids to practice rescuing people. It's in a super big arena on the other side of, the campus. There's a bus that takes the kids there. So there was a bus. Getting on there would be tough, but I'm sure I can sneak onto the bus somehow. Christina said the trip was in about 10 days. That gave me plenty of time to come up with a plan. I came to art club again a few days later, but most of the people there were not happy to see me. I figured it probably wasn't worth going when nobody would even talk to me. But as soon as I was about to leave the room, somebody called out to me. Greg, wait! Come by after the club ends, okay? At 4:30, I headed back up to the room, making sure to wait until Trista and the others had left. When I got there, Jake was waiting for me. Dude, I heard you talking with Christina. I have something you might be able to use. He went over to the corner of the room, then brought over something big. Speed bump! Quirk, stretch. He can grow individual parts of his body up to 3 times their regular size. However, his muscles start to get incredibly sore if he keeps them in their enlarged state for a few minutes. Jake unrolled it to reveal that it was a giant sheet of paper and there was something drawn on the other side. I couldn't believe what I was seeing. It was the drawing of a life-size motorcycle. Dude, all you have to do is fill in that open part near the handlebars and it should work. If they're getting there by bus, you'll need something to follow them with. Jake, this is great, but why are you going through all of this? I guess I've always been interested in other people's quirks, how they work, improvements, stuff like that, since I'm quirkless. October. Today's the day of the USJ trip. I got into mom's email and called in sick today, so I'll have the whole day to carry out my plan. I'm not really sure what I'll do when I get there, but I can figure that out later. I just need to see Rowley in action for myself to see if he's really as great as everyone says he is. When I got to school, I saw Holly and some of the Hero Course kids walking towards a bus. At first I was confused since it didn't look like they were wearing regular clothes until I remembered the Hero Course kids got hero costumes. I quickly headed off to my locker to get the paper Jake gave to me. After I had it ready, I headed back outside, careful, not to let anyone see me. When I got back outside, I saw the last of the Hero Course kids loading into the bus. I guess it's now or never. I took out my pencil and finished the drawing, and sure enough, there it was. I couldn't believe it at first. It worked. I had never made something this big with my quirk before. Holly's bodysuit allows for freedom of movement while using her quirk. Earbuds can be used to block out sound, allowing for better concentration while using the quirk, and her boots allow her to better grip the surfaces she creates. Once the bus took off, I gently got onto the motorcycle. Obviously, I had never driven a motorcycle before, so I decided to just take it slow and gently turned on the throttle. I knew enough from watching movies and TV to at least get the motorcycle moving, so I gently followed the bus, keeping enough distance so that nobody on the bus would recognize me. Thinking back on it, I really should have drawn up a helmet as well, but it was too late to worry about that now. Eventually, the bus stopped. I immediately stopped the motorcycle and took cover behind a row of bushes so I could see what was happening. The bus was stopped in front of a huge dome-shaped building that kind of reminded me of a planetarium. There was no windows, so there was no way for me to tell what was inside without going in. One by one, I watched the kids file out of the bus. A couple of them I recognized, Holly, Shirag, even one of the girls from art club. Suddenly, I saw him. It was Rowley, wearing what must have been his hero costume. Since he didn't have a quirk, it didn't seem like he had anything to do outlandish on, but it seemed like there was a staff on his back. It sort of reminded me of the metal bar he used during the entrance exam. Maybe he worked that into his costume somehow. Still, a guy with a stick couldn't do much against a bunch of kids with superpowers. If I wanted to find out what Rowley was really capable of, I would have to follow them inside. All 20 of the kids in Class 1A plus 2 teachers gathered around a pair of what looked like giant metal doors. I Am Spooky pulled out some kind of remote from his cloak and pressed a button on it. Suddenly, the doors slid open, like the automatic doors at a convenience store. The kids filed in one by one, then 2 teachers. Spooky took out the remote again, and then I realized too late what he was doing. Thinking quickly, I threw the first thing I could think of, a box of drummies wedged into the door, plopping them open. I never thought drummies would be of any use to me, but I guess you never know when they can become in handy. Rowley's staff is used for a variety of martial arts, and of course his combat gloves. Man, I really wish there was more to read on this, but there's not. Alright, episode's over. Yeah, before I go, remember to do what the description tells you to do and follow me on Twitter and Instagram and other website. Okay, bye. Oh wait, also remember to join my Discord. Okay, now it's done.